Well, good afternoon and welcome to this Thursday Thought. Earlier this week, I came into the office and I found a short letter on my desk. It was from Larry. Larry was one of our church elders and he had just lost his wife of many years a few weeks before. The letter was his official, if you will, letter of resignation from the eldership at Riverwalk Church. Larry is an older gentleman, and he served with honor and wisdom as an elder for many years at Riverwalk. His resignation was not unexpected because an elder serves best when his spouse, his companion, his wife is able to support and sustain him in his work. Sometimes a person just knows when the time is right to make a change and move on. This evidently was the right time for Larry, and we honor his decision. To serve as an elder in our faith tradition is much more than just having a meeting once a month or so and making a few decisions regarding building repair or some other administrative thing. In fact, elders in our tradition would much rather not have to do that kind of thing and leave those decisions to others who may well be more suited to making them. The New Testament likens the work of an elder to being a shepherd to a flock of sheep. Now, if you know anything about shepherding sheep, you know that the shepherd cares for his or her flock in many ways, finding water and food, protection from predators, giving shelter when needed, veterinary care, and many other aspects of caring for sheep are part of a shepherd's work. Similarly, the elder shepherds those members of the congregation that he leads. He cares for, loves, guards, teaches, and otherwise fosters and enables spiritual growth in the lives of those people of the congregation. Paul, that great apostle of the New Testament, tells the elders of the Ephesus church to, and I quote, "Guard yourselves and God's people, feed and shepherd God's flock, his church, purchased with his own blood, over which the Holy Spirit has appointed you as elders," unquote. The charge to love and care for the church is, or should be, the primary focus of an elder. Larry was not only aware of that charge, but he fulfilled it lovingly, joyfully, and with wisdom and grace. In his letter of resignation that was to be given to the congregation, he spoke of service. The idea of service is one that's embedded into the very fabric of what it means to be a Christian, a follower of Jesus Christ. Whether that service is in or for the church, or in service to one's fellow man, a life of service is a noble calling. Larry's words are meant specifically, I think, in regard to service in and for the church, that body of believers who meet together from time to time in worship and fellowship with God and with one another. Well, I've made some minor edits to make the text flow a little better for this venue, but I've not changed Larry's message in any way that he's given to the congregation. Listen to what he had to say to all of us in the Riverwalk congregation. And I quote, "My last thoughts that I want to leave you with is about service. Why serve? I know that sometime in the future there's going to be an opportunity for you to serve the church in some capacity. I'm not telling you what you need to do. You know your situation better than anyone else. But you need to share some of your life experiences in service to the church. It's pretty easy to stay hidden and convince yourself that you aren't able to do anything, that there are others more qualified, or there are more important things that require your attention. And truth be told, all those things are probably true. But here's what I know, though. Riverwalk has faith in you. That faith is backed up with God's faith and promise. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I like the way one commentator explains it, that Christ is there to help us endure hardships, and that it's about perseverance and not personal triumph. And I believe Christ does enable us. If you consider yourself a nobody, Well, that's good. God likes nobodies. Nobodies are the ones that step out on faith in God and not themselves. Just consider the apostles, for example. God has a purpose for you, too. Consider allowing Him to use you for His purposes. He's done that with a long list of saints which have passed through the history of this church, and I can testify that He has amazed me with how He has used this nobody. Finally, I look forward to see what God has planned for you and what He can accomplish in your lives and this church and His kingdom by you being a nobody. Thank you again for being that very special and loving church. Grace and peace to you. And grace and peace also be unto you, Larry. Blessings.